Hello everyone, TMan978. Welcome to a T-Man moment. In this T-Man moment, I'm going to be going over my 6-inch Hasbro Fortnite Victory Royale series collection so far. Everything that I've collected, I pretty much have everything that's available besides red links from this third wave of basic figures. And I don't have the two arcade units that are available right now. I've seen them on Amazon, but there are two more arcade units. How this is going to work is I'm going to be breaking it down by the waves that everything comes in, starting with wave 1 and giving a general synopsis or a general recap of my thoughts. And anything that I don't show in the video that I talk about, I'm going to have a playlist connected at the end of this video or in the description, both actually. So you can go and see all of these figures in full detail because I've done videos on each and every figure up here. So without further ado, let's get to wave 1. Wave 1 of the basic figures in this line is Midas Rex, Lynx, Ripley, and Chaos Agent. Now I don't have all of their accessories shown right here, but what we learned in this wave 1 is what they're trying to do is have each character have their own back bling, have their signature harvesting tool, and some type of firearm. Now that isn't the case for everybody throughout the whole line, but that's the main goal. And for characters like Midas Rex, he has these side pistols in his design. What they went ahead and did is made them removable so that he can have his own firearms. But Midas Rex in this wave was my favorite, and he's the shining example of the potential that a Hasbro 6-inch action figure line could have, because he has all the articulation I would want. The only thing he doesn't have is drop down hips. None of these have drop down hips technically, besides one outlier. But yeah, he has the two side pistols, his back bling cape. The actual in-game character has two of these swords, so that's one downside. But instead of that extra sword, you get a mask. Lynx is cool. The only inconsistency in this whole wave is she does not have like a swivel in the mid calf. It's separated, but I guess because her legs are so thin. Actually, I don't know why they did it, and I complained about it in her review. They made her swivel a square peg so it doesn't swivel. So she's the only person in this wave that doesn't have a shin split or some type of rotation below the knee like he has it in his ankle. But what they all do have is the ball joint in the waist, and they all have some type of ab articulation, which is seemingly different in character by character basically. Like these two have like the ball at the top, while these have the hinge that we've been seeing for years in Marvel Legends. But they're all good. Like, rating them for me, I like Midas Rex, Chaos Agent, then Lynx, then Ripley. Ripley is cool that you can take this off and readjust his head. And the Jazzware figures, they didn't feature anything like that. So I was so excited about that, and that's cool. He's at the bottom of the list because he's just so freaking bulky. Also during wave 1, Hasbro released these deluxe figures. Now what the deluxe figures do is they give you the character plus all or most of their signature items they should have, instead of being limited to the budget of just the back bling, a gun, and a harvesting tool. Like with Meowscles Shadow version right here, he gets the whole weight bench. He gets the two pistols right there, which in game I don't believe are removable, but he can remove them and use them. He has that weight in his hand, and he gets his two harvesting tool blades plus that back bling. That is a lot. But we get a little kinda, to me, inconsistent with Sky and Ollie right here. You get the big Ollie right down there, which is just Pretty much like a lifeless Funko Pop. But then you get Sky. She has two of these swords, her back bling, and this plunger gun. It feels like she doesn't come with as many accessories. But that camera around her neck is removable. I show that off in her review. And this is part of the detail, but that's also removable. So I guess they included things like her jacket and that removable sweater as being parts of her piece count. Then Jules is Amazon exclusive. She comes with a lot. She comes with her harvesting tool, which is 3 pieces basically because the handle rotates. You get her back bling with Ohm back here, and Ohm has removable wings. Those wings move and articulate. Plus he has these 2 spread open wings. She has a mask, a little 2 connector pieces so that you can connect it to your flight stand, and you get the wrenches down there, and you get a whole secondary Ohm that can make this piece pull off and put him in there. So that's cool. And he has also the head articulates. I didn't say that. So you get a lot with her, but things are inconsistent starting here, whereas Sky has a ton of articulation, all the articulation you would want. She's comparable to the Midas Rex. Jules doesn't have the joint at the base of the neck to give her more neck articulation, and neither does Meowscles. So they have very stiff neck articulation. Come on, focus on her. And she's different. Like her top is completely rubberized and pliable. It's soft. So she essentially has like soft boobs. But yeah, you can check out my review for anything else. But yeah, Sky has definitely been my favorite out of this wave. Only issue I had with her is her like kind of blank stare. But the other 2, I really like Jules. I like Jules more than Meowscles a little bit. He comes with fist. I lied in my review that I just put up yesterday for which come back there. Brutus. I said that he was the only one that comes with fist. He comes with fist too. So they're like the only 2 that I can think of besides Snake Eyes over here that has exchangeable hands. But yeah, they're all cool, but I like Sky the most. Let's look at the arcade units. They're full scale arcade units. They're supposed to have 2 thumbsticks. I ordered these off Amazon because it was forever before I seen them in the store, and this one came with 1 stick. So yeah, I was either me return it or just accept it. I accept it because I don't really care that much. But basically what these are supposed to be is just props and arsenal. You can take this off and they have weapons inside. I'm not sure if these are the exact weapons that are supposed to be in here. I believe it is. Like you get a sniper rifle right here, a boogie bomb, and that plunger, clinger. But what you can also do is reverse the back and store the weapons on these little hangers. So that is a really cool feature right there. The really awesome feature. They all come with different weapons, and they're differentiated by the colors on the side. Like this would be purple, orange, and they now have a blue, and I forget the other color. But yeah, cool little prop. Like if you have a diorama, like these could easily fit in there, because as you can see, the characters are like proper size to use these arcades. And yeah, they're cool, and they're relatively inexpensive because this is a big hunk of plastic with 3 weapons inside, or 3 accessories, and they're only like $11.99. That's supposed to be the retail. If it's more than that, then yeah, you're getting kind of robbed. Make sure that you're actually getting the regular Amazon price and not some third party. Speaking of Amazon prices, I'm an Amazon associate, so I have my own personalized links. Anytime you make a purchase after clicking on one of my links, it helps my channel out by giving me a little bit of change from that. But anywho, that link is always in the description. But what I'll do is put my specialized Fortnite list in there, so if you like any of these figures, you can just go to that one list and find most of the characters that are available, the ones that aren't like Hasbro Pulse exclusive like the Foundation back there, or Walmart exclusives like TNTina. Anyway, this is the Upgrade Shark. Speaking of Walmart exclusives, I've only seen him in there, but he is on Amazon, I believe. But the shark can be found in the water on Fortnite's island, or around Fortnite's island, and they just attack you, and they even come out of the water at you. They take a lot of damage, so you'll be sitting there shooting them, and when you finally kill them, they explode and accessories come out. I believe this one came with a shotgun, fishing rod, this sushi back bling, and these skis right here, which you can plug. They have pegs right there. You can plug them into the character's feet as long as they have a peg hole. The only character up here that doesn't have a peg hole in the bottom of the feet that I can think of is Brutus. I don't know why they just didn't give him one. And some of them have weak peg holes, like Bush Ranger right there, so they don't stay in there that deep. But yeah, I believe, you know what, this came with something. Might have been one of those arcades, but I believe you did get this, and the shotgun. Maybe it did come. I remember it coming with 5 separate accessories. But as you can see, you got the rib cage right there, and this fishing rod actually can attach here so that he can be pulling somebody while they're skiing, just like in the game. Basic wave 2, we have Metal Mouth, Funk Ops, Ragsy, and Bush Ranger. These are all mostly cool. The main guys I wanted in this wave is Metal Mouth, because he looks like the most G.I. Joe compatible character up here. I became disappointed by the fact that the neck articulation is basically just like Jules, where it's just the ball at the top. It works better than hers. Her neck is basically just swivel, but still good figure. He has good articulation. He comes with a bunch of accessories, like he has the side pistol right there that's actually removable, the 2 harvesting tools, back bling, plus he came with a sniper rifle, if I'm not mistaken. Funk Ops kind of got the short end of the stick to me, but I think he and Ragsy are my favorite out of the wave, because their posability is great and detail is great. Well, let me turn, we'll focus on him. Like, one cool thing about him, the sunglasses aren't supposed to come out, but they did paint the eyes underneath, which is cool. He came with this back bling right here, this boom box, this disco ball with a pickaxe and a harvesting tool, and he comes with a boogie bomb. No gun. So yeah, I don't know whether they didn't want to give a black guy a gun, or whether they're thinking too hard, or what. But Ragsy, even though she doesn't have double jointed elbows, her harvesting tools are cool, which, like I said, you can see all that in our full review. She comes with this detailed back bling, and she has a tactical shotgun. But the way she articulates and moves, like, her neck definitely is probably the most articulated out of everybody up here. I really enjoy it, and her other articulation is good. So I she's my favorite out of this wave. Her Funk Ops Metal Mouth. And Bush Ranger. Bush Ranger is good. Like, he is colorful and detailed. He comes with these two swords right there, the back bling, and he has a hunting rifle. My issue with him is these tiny feet and these skinny legs. Skinny legs always means like gumminess, and he's more prone to fall over. And as you can imagine by his design, they went out of their way to try to combat things, but he is very limited in the neck area. But he does have the full range underneath of all of this. Just you'll be fighting against it because it might be a little bit too stiff or thick and restrictive. But he does look the part. He is cool. You can get him posed, but you gotta work for that pose, let me tell you. Now let's talk about our first full 2-pack, where you get 2 full action figures and not somebody like Ollie over here. That's basically nothing. This was a Target exclusive. I only saw it at Target. So yeah. One disappointing thing about them, like, they're cool on paper. They come with their back bling. They come with their signature harvesting tools, which are fully painted and detailed, and like, this is so many parts layered up in there. And they both come with like their own guns. But on top of that, they come with these 2-piece removable helmets. You can take that top part off and turn their heads around to whatever pose you want, and just go ahead and plug that back in. But where things go bad to me is when they were released, they were overpriced. Like, I believe, I can't remember what the retail was, but it was more than it cost for 2 of the figures combined. Like, they didn't give you a discount at all, even though you're getting 2 characters, and that's extremely not Hasbro like, or at least the Hasbro of the past. Hasbro of the past, if one of these is $23, if you get 2 of them together, instead of them being 46, they'd be like 42 or something, or maybe even 40. But no, they were like $47.99. So they were like even more money than they should have been. And Siona is different from like a ton of the characters. Every character has a ball at the waist right here. She does not have any waist articulation whatsoever. She, besides the scientists who eventually came out, she is the only character that doesn't have any waist rotation. She just has this limited articulation right there. And even though her arms are big, they didn't give her a double jointed elbow. Most of the characters have double jointed elbows except Jules again. So it's like, where they can cut corners, they cut corners. And it seems like it would always be the female characters that get something taken off. But eventually these got clearanced out. You can get them on Amazon right now for cheaper. Let me show you an example of taking this off. Like, for her, you actually have to take her head off, but you can take that off, and they do have the full range of articulation under there. The dumbbell at the top and the ball at the base of the neck. So that's cool. Like, Dio is fully articulated besides not having a boot. No, actually he does. He has a rotation right here. She doesn't have that. So she got the short end of the stick majorly, and they charged a couple more dollars. So yeah, unfortunately these two failed as being their like first 2-pack. I meant to mention this up front. One of the reasons why I wanted these guys is because they can fit in with any line. Like, these two could be people that work with G.I. Joe as their like space troopers or something like that. And somebody like Chaos Agent over there could easily be a Batman villain along with Lynx. And I'm not, these things, it's hard to get these regular action figures standing up well, so I'm not gonna fuss with that. But then you got characters that can fit in with G.I. Joe, like Foundation and the Scientists could easily be working for Cobra. And the other mascot looking dudes could be Joker henchmen or something like that. So that's one of the other appeals of these characters besides their details, articulation, and their accessories. The next store exclusive is TNTina. She is exclusive to Walmart. Still is. Like, depending on your Walmart, you might be able to go there and find a wall of her. Like, you might be able to see like 6 or 7 right now. But then you go to another Walmart and you don't see them at all because they sold out. But basically, she came with her glider and the stand to hold the glider up. Each glider can like tilt and rotate on top of this stand right there. And yeah, I really like her, but she didn't come with a lot of accessories at all. She just basically came with the glider and the back bling right there. She didn't have any harvesting tool or weapon at all. For the price, honestly, personally, I think they're being cheap. These weapons can't cost that much, and they throw them in with like this. They're using the same mold a lot. They could have given her a weapon easily without you having to buy a weapon separately. And they have gliders sold separately. The gliders cost the same amount as a regular figure. Now I do have Cluck and Lambro demonstrating, but the gliders come separately for the same price, just like the upgrade shark. Like they're the same price as a regular figure. You get the stand just like you got with TNTina, and you get the glider. They come in pieces and you need to put it together. I show off how to do that, and they have all the same features as TNTina where they rock and lean forward and whatnot. And this one actually has posable wings right there. These two do not have posable wings. You can't really pose anything besides the actual glider on the stand. This is, I forget the exact name of these things, but this black one is my favorite one. I believe I have this in that list on my Amazon list. So it's cool. The stand is very sturdy. If you had like a white background for photography, it would disappear. You wouldn't see it depending on your light settings. This one I do remember the name. It's called the Llamacorn Express. Highly detailed and really nice and really super duper game accurate. It would have been cool if this fin back here was posable, but it's not. But you can see my full rundown in my review. I also show in that review how you can connect Ollie to the stand and how you can connect Jules back bling her owl to the stands. So give that a look. Now let's talk about the exclusives. These are Hasbro Pulse exclusives. If anything's washed out back there, don't pay that any mind. We need to be looking at these 3 guys. They are very dark, but the Scientists wound up being the first of the 7 collection. Came with a special box. I have a review in it where I talk about everything. And he has basically the gun and 6 face plates plus this little dome that fits over there. These face plates right here, including the one he's wearing, when you push in his chest, make his eyes light up. Yeah, and oh yeah, he does have the back bling, which is substantial. But you can see all that. It's fully painted, by the way, anyway. That's the best things about him. But I have complaints that he is the worst articulated figure in this entire line. like the absolute worst. But the way they make up for it is the paint, and that's about that. I'm happy they gave him a shotgun. But I have some other things. Watch the review. I complained about how all of this stuff works. There are a lot of complaints, and I was ultimately, for the price, a little bit disappointed. Now we have the Foundation, who is better. The paint on him and detail, I don't know if it's actually fair because he is way more interesting. One thing that was kind of disappointing for me about him is this is the version of him that we first see at, I think it might have been the end of season 5. I can't remember I think he showed up at the end of season 5. But later on we find out that he's actually played by Dwayne Johnson. So we didn't get that version that comes with a Dwayne Johnson head. But he comes with extra fist, a couple of things that they don't normally come with. This back plate to fill in for his back bling when it's not attached, which is a cool touch. And you do get the Foundation umbrella, which is huge. It looks bigger than in the game to me. But his articulation is good. And yeah, I just wish he came with a gun. I think every Fortnite figure should come with a gun, and for his price, come on now. I know he comes with that big umbrella in his stand, but throw in a weapon, jeez. Then we get the first Fortnite figure ever announced, the 0 Point Snake Eyes right here, which is what you thought, or what I thought when I first saw him. I didn't think otherwise. It is G.I. Joe Classified Snake Eyes, the exact same figure, just painted up a little bit differently. He is wearing 2 of his accessories, the sword sheath and the sword, and I have him with this SMG right here. But he comes with an assortment of Fortnite weaponry that you see often in the games being offered. Like, they gave him his belt that he had on the original Just Classified series figure, but they Fortnited it up by making these grenades boogie bombs, even though he has a big giant boogie bomb like you see laying on the ground in the game. And yeah, these are cool weapons. They're nicely painted. They didn't cheap out on that. Like, all of them have paint, and they even threw in this ninja star hand, which he doesn't really need at all because this isn't something he does in the game. But yeah, Snake Eyes is cool. If you don't own this Snake Eyes mold, you need to do that for yourself, because this is one of the best Hasbro 6-inch molds, period. I had high hopes that every single figure in the G.I. Joe Classified line, or every single figure moving forward, would have the amount of articulation that this guy has. And these Fortnite guys come close, but they don't have, what they're missing is the drop down hits. But they pretty much have everything else. The one disappointment for me, when I seen the gun holster right there, I just knew that gun would be removable, and this knife. Just like all the other figures who have in-game weaponry on their body, it's removable, and it's like a bonus piece of accessory. But for this guy, they actually decided to go game accurate, and you cannot remove that knife or that gun. That was the one thing that disappointed me, but it's an awesome set. I don't feel robbed or gypped. Go to my review, you can see the packaging overview. That's kind of cool too. All right, here are the Wave 3 basics. I got Lambro, Condor, and Cluck right here. Please pray that Cluck stands up this whole time. He's not. Yeah, let's go into him first. He is crazy detailed, crazy posable, way more posable than I would think for something that's big and clunky. Here's the problem: the upper body is heavy. This figure is heavy. It feels like it's a pound by itself. And you see these skinny legs. Now I put floor polish, definitely needed that in this ankle right here. And you see, after not touching this guy for a week after doing that, it's now finally tightening up. I put straight up Gorilla Glue right here because that was too wiggly wobbly, but it still seems like that's not really helping. It's basically the connection point right here, and like the weight just flexes on this right here. So eventually, if you don't get the legs like absolutely perfect, eventually over time gravity is just gonna shift him either forward or backward, and I can just see it happening right now. He's going backward, but yeah, he looks good. I like him. Other than that, you just got to find that sweet spot pretty much with all of these, because his Condor's ankles aren't that much better. Condor probably is the most disappointing to me out of this wave. I mean, he looks good enough, but I feel like his head should have been bigger. And the most disappointing thing is with how they decided to do the arms. The arms are single jointed and swivel, which for Cluck isn't too much of a problem because they bend more than 90 degrees. And let's make sure I'm not lying about that on this. Yeah, that's just 90 degrees. So that makes articulation kind of boring. Yeah, you're gonna just be sitting back here, Mr. Cluck. But that takes away from him as far as posing. He has all the other articulation you would want, but something about his long torso, which is game accurate because a lot of them have long torsos, and this right here is, I think I ultimately gave him a good review because of everything else. The materials, the way it feels, the accessories are good, but yeah, that our articulation in the arms is frustrating me. But he does come with this shotgun, the back bling with the two swords, just like he has in the game. I honestly would like this is called Unchained, I believe, version. I want the chained version. I like that one better than him. And I hope they give him double jointed elbows, please, if you're listening to me and you want to tackle that character again. Oh yeah, Cluck also comes with this primal shotgun, which is really nice. And Lombro probably is the most wanted out of this wave for me. Like, he has all the articulation you would want. Even right here, there's a cut right there for his diaphragm and whatnot. All of these are crazy detailed. This back bling is super ridiculously detailed. And he's fully covered in all the colors he should have. Like, looks really, really good. And he comes with this grenade launcher right here, outside of that harvesting tool. So he's good. I like him the most out of this wave. The fourth figure in the wave is Red Lynx, and it's just basically the same figure I showed earlier. So I'm probably, the completionist in me is probably gonna get her eventually, but sheesh, I don't know if I want to pay $25 for a repaint. But anywho, here are these folks. And the last thing I need to show is the Wave 3 Deluxes. Here are the Wave 3 Deluxes. They are awesome. I'm going to say right now, the Man Cake is probably the absolute best thing to get out of the Wave 3. I absolutely love him. He is awesome. The way they detail the accessories as far as putting transparent parts, come on his weaponry, like fully painted, nicely detailed. And then they gave you the same feature as far as his head with that syrup top of the hat. The face is removable just in case you don't like the hat version. You can put in this version of his face, which is really cool. They got the transparent effect right here on his back bling. Like, he has the removable guns. They put a lot of money into this deluxe. And you get a cannon. Let me turn autofocus back on. You get this cannon, which has several moving parts. You can actually roll. Then they have like the layer of pliable plastic right here to act like the rubber or whatever. You get another assault rifle on top of the guns he comes with. And this can actually be held like a gun if you want. And you get the syrup for his emote. So you pretty much, besides his glider, you get damn near everything you need for Mancake. And he's fully posable. Brutus Shadow version. I'm just gonna move this stuff off to the side. You get a lot with him. Like, he is a nice figure. Big, kind of top heavy, just like Cluck, unfortunately. Because he has a big beefy body. He is heavy. Like, they do not use hollow. Like, this part of him kind of feels like it might be a little bit hollow, but the plastic is still heavy, so he is still heavy. Now, I mentioned he has all the articulation you would want. The neck mostly looks down, but I'll show you in the review that you can rotate the neck backwards so you can get the up. Like, this back bling right here is substantial and detailed. I don't know if I did a zoom in on this in his actual review, but I like that. And then he comes with this like foot locker that has a whole minigun in there that you can assemble, plus this rifle. Well, that is really cool, and you can remove this and store other things in there if you want. So, really like this. My only issue with him, and kind of with Mancake too, Mancake is better, but you have to be really, really, really spot on with the way you pose the ankles. Because like I said, he's top heavy, so. And then they didn't put peg holes in the bottom of his feet. Mancake actually has the peg holes, and let's see if his foot can actually fit all the way onto a peg. It pretty much almost goes in there. So I don't know why they didn't punch his feet out, but I still like them at the end of the day, and they are very nicely posable. Like, you can go to my review to see all the small details that I go into, because I go into great detail. But I'm gonna end things right here. One thing that you'll notice about every figure that I showed in this entire line, and this was a lot of figures, they are all unique molds. When do you get 3 waves? 3 waves of figures, and everyone is a unique mold. Now, some of them may have the same weapons, even the same color weapons, which is boring, but all the molds are different. The only mold that's the same so far is Lynx, and I didn't buy her. But this is a lot of figures, as you saw. It's going to be a lot of work to set these up and talk about them again. I'm not going to do that. Rewind the video. But I'm very much enjoying this line. It's only a few stinkers, but it is very, very few and far between. So I think this line is worth it, and I can't wait to see what else they start to give us. Only thing that's out right now, or that people have that I don't have, is that motorboat that they have, which is expensive, but it's humongous. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Until next time, TMan978 out of here. Figure action. That one's me. Join the Syndicate Toy Hunters Facebook group. Link in the description. Click the videos. Click the videos, baby. Click the videos. You should really click these videos. Click the videos.